Okay, let's just jump right in. For decades, virtual reality has held this incredible promise, right? The idea of stepping into a totally different world. But what we're seeing right now is a monumental shift, and it's all being powered by generative AI. It's taking VR from what was basically a pre-built stage and turning it into a living, breathing universe.
And this quote, man, it just nails the core problem we're finally moving past. No matter how amazing these virtual worlds looked, they were always at their heart static. Beautifully made, sure, but finite. You could learn them, master them, see everything they had to offer. But that's all about to change in a huge way.
So, to really get where we're going, we first have to understand where we've been. Let's call this first chapter of VR the magnificent diorama.
Think about your favorite VR experience. Seriously, any one of them. Every single rock, every tree, every line of dialogue that a character speaks, it was all painstakingly put there by a human developer. It's an incredible work of art, no doubt, but it's fundamentally limited. It's a world that waits for you, but it can't truly spontaneously react to you.
You know, the official term for this is authored reality, and it's the perfect name. It's like one of those stunningly detailed models you see in a museum behind a glass case. You can look at it, you can admire it, maybe press a button to make a little train move, but you can't ever really change it. You can't surprise it. It's beautiful, yeah, but it's ultimately knowable.
But now, generative AI is here to just shatter that glass case. This is the moment where the static world ends and the living one truly begins.
In this right here, this is the whole paradigm shift in a nutshell. We are moving from pre-scripted, canned dialogue to having genuine, unscripted conversations with characters who can actually remember you. We're going from maps you can memorize to exploring infinite, brand new environments every single time. And maybe the biggest leap of all, we're shifting from just following a story to actively co-authoring our reality second by second.
So the big question is, how is any of this even possible? Well, to put it simply, these AI models have basically consumed so much data, images, text, videos, 3D scans, you name it, that they've learned the underlying patterns of our world. They get how light is supposed to bounce off water, what a medieval castle should generally look like, and even the nuances of human behavior. They can now generate new things because they kind of understand the rules of reality itself.
And this brings us to the really fun part. What's it actually like to be inside one of these new, living ecosystems?
Just imagine saying that. Not typing in code, not dragging and dropping assets from a library, just speaking. And within moments, a completely unique, totally cohesive world that fits that exact vibe just materializes around you. This isn't just about being more efficient. This is about creating at the speed of your own imagination.
And this is how the whole concept of narrative gets flipped on its head. Your choices can have real, unscripted consequences. So you spare a bandit, and the AI doesn't just tick a good guy box, it might on the fly generate a whole reason for that bandit's redemption, and then have them show up later as an ally with a brand new quest that literally did not exist a minute ago. The story is no longer a path you walk on. It's more like a garden that grows around your footsteps.
And the applications, they are just staggering. We're talking about game dungeons that are genuinely 100% unique every time you play. Surgeons training on AI-generated bodies that can present an infinite number of anatomical curveballs. Therapists creating personalized, safe spaces that literally adapt to a patient's emotional state in real time. And then you get to the really profound stuff. The ability to interact with a realistic simulation of a lost loved one reconstructed from their entire digital footprint. It's just, wow.
But this amazing power brings up some very deep, very tricky questions. If every single person's experience is completely unique, do we lose that shared culture that stories have always given us? What does canon even mean in a universe that rewrites itself for every single person who enters it? And that forces us to change how we think about this stuff. We have to move on from just being users and creators. Now we have to become the architects of these new realities, and that comes with a whole lot of responsibility.
And let me tell you, the challenges here are every bit as massive as the possibilities. For starters, how do you moderate an infinite world for safety? How do you even begin? Who owns the intellectual property of a world that was generated from data scraped from the entire internet? And then, maybe the biggest one of all, what's the psychological impact of a world that can adapt perfectly to your every single desire? Why would you ever want to leave?
At the end of the day, we have to recognize that we're not just building better video games or more convincing training sims. We are designing entirely new contexts for human experience, and that's something that requires an immense amount of thought and care.
So, where is all this headed? What's the ultimate future for this technology? Well, it feels like an infinite cosmos is beckoning.
The final frontier, and this is where things get really sci-fi, seems to be a direct merger of these living virtual worlds with brain-computer interfaces. I'm talking about a time when we can stream sensory data directly into our minds, and the very distinction between what's real and what's generated might just stop having any meaning at all.
The era of the static, finite virtual world, it's officially over. We're now stepping into an age where every single person who puts on a headset is entering a universe that doesn't just wait for them to show up, but actually learns to dream with them.
And that leaves us with one final, truly profound thought. For the first time in history, we're building worlds that can create and react and remember all on their own. So the question is no longer just what we will imagine, it's what will these new boundless worlds imagine us to be?